Every time I come to use this lathe I find a puddle of oil in the bottom. It's the royal purple oil that I got out of the gearbox. I've blamed it on coming out of the headstock, spindle, gear change levers, but when I get a closer look at it, there's a lot of oil here. There's actually oil behind this panel, so it must be leaking out of the top gasket up there. There's a gasket underneath there. I think it's leaking out of there, running down behind here, because that's the oil there. That's the only way it can be coming down is from behind there. You can actually see it there. I'll pull the top off here, have a quick look inside the gearbox and see what I can go about sealing this, making a better job of sealing it. These British machines often leak oil, but this isn't leaking oil, this is pissing oil out. This cover's only held down with 2 bolts. That's your filler plug there. I'll take the filler plug out because I'm sure there's a little extension piece on there with a filter on it. Well, it's not a filter, but it's got a magnet on, catches any small bits of swarf and nothing on there to worry about. You can clearly see where the oil's been leaking over the front of that gasket. And the gasket's actually dropped down in the back of there, so I haven't even been touching. I think what I may do is just put this face to face with silicon. If it had silicon when they built the gearbox, that's what they would have used. Quite an interesting design feature. When the lathe is running, the oil gets flung up off these gears. Obviously it lands in this little trough and it runs around there, all the way around there, then dribbles down into that front main bearing. That's the bearing that does a lot of the work. And in the bearing through the filler plug goes that magnet, which will catch any small bits of metal shite before they get into the bearing. This looks really good inside. That's a selector for your high end. That's your high range. And that's your low range. These are your various selectors at the top for your different gears. That's a clutch. So I'll take this gasket off, put it on face to face with silicon. It's not going to be taken apart again for any particular reason, and I can't see it giving any trouble for the amount of use I'm giving it. I mean, I do gearboxes at work, and the whole gearbox casing is face to face with no gasket on at all, just silicon. Saying that, we do use a real good quality silicon. Try and make sure you get as much of the oil off as possible. This is the sealer I'm going to use. It's used a lot on gas turbines. Real high temperature, high performance sealer. It's a thin bead. Doesn't take a great lot. That's all the way around. Two corners of the places where I've caught with my hand. Like a clumsy bastard. That looks good. Very carefully put the lid back on without knocking the sealer off. If this gives problems, I'll make a gas scrub. I don't think it will. That's better. You see the sealing squashing out now. Hopefully that should be the end of the oil leak, or the end of most of the oil leak. You kind of stop them leaking, they always leak a little bit, but this was pissing out. Just put a drop more in to get it to the correct oil level. That's the oil I use. It's a modern day equivalent of basically the hydraulic oil that used to run them on in the olden days, because that's all there was. And if that's good enough for a NASCAR gearbox, it's good enough for this. It's not cheap, but if it's going to keep this running, which it probably will for the rest of my lifetime, I'm quite happy to pay a little bit extra for it. It's a job done that I've been going to do for weeks, and we'll leave it now and see what happens. Debs is doing really well now. She's getting back into the swing of work. She's not working full time, but she is putting a lot of hours in. She's enjoying work. She comes home really tired. It's good that she's actually getting back into something she likes doing, because she's really a people person, and the sort of work she does. She works in a restaurant. She's meeting people all the time, and it really is doing her a world of good. Once again, it just remains to say thanks very much for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for clicking the like button, and as always, a fantastic, massive thanks for all the well wishes that are still coming in towards Deb, my wife, and my dad. Thanks very much.